Prince Dr. Chukwuemeka Edward Attah-Edeh, Anyanwụ Na-Awara Ọha Nke Mbụ of Akpogho. But your friends, my friends, they call me Eddy4ShoT's. It's a pleasure to have you, sir, on the other side of the listening wave. Can you tell us who you are? Let's bring people into this conversation that we're having.
Hi guys, hello. My name is Chidubem Ezekwem, or to put it in the right way, my name is Lord Dubem Ezekwem of Kerry. The other titles in between is just I don't want to be too over familiar. So
use your titles. Let them know you.
All right. My name is Lord Chidubem I.W. Ezekwem. A few more titles that, in all fairness, I don't speak Irish anymore, so I don't remember them fully. Of Kerry. So I'm an Irish Lord.
Okay.
But I don't live in Ireland anymore. I live in America.
How did you become an Irish Lord?
Put it this way, my ancestors, gotta love. I'm gonna say something that people hate me for, and you might block me for. Gotta love slavery. Got to love slavery. So my ancestor was transported to Ireland as a slave, and at the point where the Irish were rebelling against the English, trying to abolish slavery, because gotta love the Irish. The Irish were one of the few people. No, actually, not one of the few. It's kind of like the same thing. Technically the Italians, but some people say the Spanish did, which is like the Romans. You say in certain countries like Rome did not give a damn about the color of your skin or where you were born. To Rome, a slave is a slave, meaning a Roman could be a slave, and in that way, whether you're black, brown, white, blue, whatever, if you were sold into slave, you were a slave. They really did not give a damn. So the Irish were one of the first white slaves, and they were slaves to English. So they remember how they fought for it. Like the Irish know exactly how badly they fought for independence, especially because when the English were in their country, they made them stop growing the one cash crop they had, which was potatoes.
Potatoes, right?
That's why the Irish emigrated to the US because,
US. Was it not because of the potato rot disease that their potatoes were going bad?
You can grow potatoes, which is what will grow on your land, but the British said, no, don't grow potatoes. And now there's a farming going on because the crops the British brought for you to grow are having having weed rot, because the problem back then was, and this actually happened with bananas as well. We got so used to growing the same cash crops that when the disease that attacks that crop came up, we did not have an option for it because everyone started growing the same thing.
So the thing went through the population of fruits and crops and decimated
the original banana had seeds in it, but when the Europeans came in and saw how trade was working, they were like, "Oh, what is the banana type of banana that gets the most money?" Which was the one that didn't have seeds. So because Europeans, and this is the funniest thing, and it just goes to show how people think. Europeans were not the first to go around the world. No. And now this is contested because you have to argue between who went around first. Would it be the Arabs? Because we already know the Arabs were in Africa and were in that country already. So we had the trade from Africa to the Arab world. And again, we already know the Arabs were already trading with Asia. So we can assume the Arabs traded with Africa, moved to Arab world, traded with Asia, and again, the Arabs already traded with Europe. So we can argue whether or not the Arabs were the first global traders, or we can then go back to what we are taught in school, where we know.
I could say the Olmecs were the first global traders, because if you see, the Olmecs have very characteristic faces of Western to Eastern African origin. And if you are to go back, okay, let's say back to when the continents were still in Pangea formation, there's a more of it doesn't have to be that big a journey. But of course, human beings were not around when Pangea was a thing, based on the evolution. But then, it's really, really fascinating to me when you bring that up, saying the people that traded the world before those who traded the world, or they discovered the world, quote unquote. the Olmecs, in my opinion, and the Chinese were one of the first people that did that global trade.
The problem
In my
with this is that at this point, unless give it, I think maybe give it 500 more years, then we'll actually have an answer to this. If not, right now we're just going to be arguing semantics because it's whoever says who. If we go by history books makes us feel it's Europeans. Europeans united the world. And then if we go by religion, which is the most annoying one, religion actually makes it seem like the general perspective of linking of those cultures. Because when I say cultures, I mean I use three cultures. Number one, linking between the European culture, and I would say European culture in quotes because you need to assume that you need to have at least two cultures in Europe that were the same. The Greeks and the Romans were pretty much almost the same in this prediction. So we use two of them.
Okay.
With another one, which is Asian, because the Greek and the Roman culture does have religious ties in Asian culture. Because again, Zeus becomes what's Zeus? Oh God, I keep I'm getting old. What is Zeus? Zeus is Greek. What is Zeus in Rome? Is it Venus? What is he in Rome? What is Zeus in Roman culture again?
But in Roman culture,
Yeah,
he's
what's Zeus
supposed
in
to
Roman
be
culture?
Jupiter.
Jupiter, yeah. Zeus, Roman culture, Jupiter, Zeus, Roman, Jupiter, Greek, also then appears again in Asian culture, which is interesting because Asian culture is literally like the most diverse culture. You have, okay, now this is my best one. This is Chinese, Huey. So Huey is Huey is a man, but Huey was a man who did so much work for the gods. So one of the tasks Huey was given was Huey was told to shoot down. There were three gods of the sun who were attacking the earth. Huey was told to kill all of them. So Huey is literally just Huey was a so it goes in two ways. Huey was a carpenter in one, and Huey was a woodcutter in the other. But it says the same thing. He cuts wood, he molds wood. But he was tasked with killing these three gods who are oppressing. Like that's why the sun was so harsh. Huey, with his bow and arrow, shot down three of the seven sun gods. One, two, three, and could have kept shooting to kill all the rest. But because the sun gods were literally the children of the dragon, like the actual original dragon, and if all of them had died, the dragon race would have ended. The gods begged Huey, even though they are the ones who taxed him, they begged him to stop, and he stopped. So his reward was Huey was given a flagon. He was given a flagon. Flagon is like this much of immortal elixir. And now
Okay.
this story becomes interesting because then, if anyone has listened to Chinese culture, you know the story of Monkey King. He was given a
Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong was given a flagon of immortal mixture. Huey was married to what's her name? Sanchi, I think, or Sanki, his wife. That's Huey's wife. Huey's wife was a human. So Huey loved his wife so much that he never wanted to leave his wife. So Huey was given that flagon but never touched.
Excuse me.
So the gods knew they could not tempt Huey. And I love this part because for any woman who wants to tackle me about Genesis, that is man who fell and for woman who took the blame. Even in Chinese mythology, Huey, the gods knew Huey could not be tempted. So they left him. Instead, they went for his wife, Shang-Chi. So at some point, they kept tempting her while he was away. To the point where they finally got her to drink from the flagon of immortality. So she drinks it, and Huey is not home. So when Huey gets home, all he sees is her mortal body dying, and she ascends to the moon. So Shang-Chi becomes the goddess of the moon.
Of the
So which is why
moon.
the story comes on. Huey stays on Earth every day, shooting an arrow to the moon. And he puts his heart into the arrow. So every day, every fleeting time, he's shooting an arrow to the moon, but he knows he will never reach the moon. But at the same time, he's lost his chance of being immortal. And now Shang-Chi is immortal at the moon and knows she can never see Huey. So it becomes a story of why the moon revolves around the earth even though it can never touch the earth. And then you now have shooting stars coming about. That's the story of Huey and Shang-Chi, if I remember the name Shang-Chi.
We need to have a proper discussion about that Huey Sanchi
No, I
dynamic.
read the thing. Myths have always been a thing for me. I have actually studied. I studied Greek mythology. I studied Egyptian mythology. I studied European mythology just because of how it runs.
Oh,
It's
all
unique
my
to me.
mythology of Greek is all from what do you call it? Is all from Kratos and
Uh, Kratos, Kratos is Kratos. Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, Kratos is Greek.
God
It's
of
more
War.
like, yeah, I read it because. So I read it because it intrigued me, and then it annoyed me because again, we're Nigerians, and the way Nigerian culture is taught to us, yeah, Nigerian culture is very verbal, but our myths are taught in terms of warnings to us. And I don't
Mm.
mind that because even like if you read in German, oh, just so you know, I don't read German, but my
But
ex,
you understand German?
I don't understand German. I wish, but my ex is German, so I actually had to learn German because my ex is a one. You know what? Right now I'm single, so I can say this. My ex from then was a wonderful woman to the point where even when she cursed me in German, it was
You
wonderful.
liked it because of the accent, Abi. Bad boy.
Ah, gosh, gosh, this girl. And like
Josh
even the
did
way her parents
heißen.
said it was gosh,
Like
this
heißen.
like she was screaming and it just
Ich nicht das Eichen. Muss heißen.
like German is wonderful because like Germans when Germans want to curse you out
They curse you out.
because the language itself doesn't have the curse. Instead, the cursing becomes very descriptive, so it's very passionate.
Wow.
So when she cursed me out, you could feel the passion between it. So it was very descriptive. And like one of the things I always remembered from her is it because I don't know how. Maybe I think it's because of she grew up with her parents and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every curse she gave to me, especially as a Nigerian, always went to the ancestors. So I remember stories. So I know when she like this girl has once cursed me out to the point where she brought up the original tale of Krampus. So Krampus is Santa Claus's brother. Was
Brother,
this
tell us, yes,
I don't
tell for
remember.
people that don't know. First of all, tell people for people that imagine if someone from Nigeria is watching that has never heard of Santa Claus. I know we have Father Christmas in Nigeria,
So
but
Father Christmas in Nigeria is what you people call Santa Claus. Though, please. Santa Claus has is either it depends on who you're listening. Santa Claus has a brother or a stepbrother. It depends on which mythology you're looking. So
okay.
in
Then
her
do
from
tell.
her place in Germany is technically stepbrother Krampus. So mind you, put it this way, back in the day, they need like actually in all fairness, all fairy tales, which is why Africans don't understand this. Because well, in African culture, if a child misbehaves, someone you spank the picking, so his head will knock. In
Mm-hmm.
European culture, they use storytelling to make children behave. Not that Europeans will spank their children or old Europeans will spank, but like first of all, storytelling was first. So a lot of
Mm.
that story tales were to scare the kids to do the right thing, which is
Okay.
why like this I think is why the story is carried further than us. That and well colonization because well when religion came to us um okay so sir I'll have to digress.
Sure,
when
sure. Please,
when
by
you're
all
an
means,
old
digress
religion
away.
when you're an old religion, the concept of holding religion or holding culture generally comes in paintings. So if you're an old enough religion, most of the time your culture would have been held in a painting. That's like cave painting, whatever.
Okay.
As you adapt, that's when your culture goes from painting to written. The aura of adaptation is painting to written. Then the third level is to spoken.
Mm.
Unfortunately, African culture is a bit unique because um even when we did spoken, our spoken was more like written because we sang our culture.
We sang our oral tradition.
We did everything orally. And then the next problem becomes colonization. Because when we sang during the colonization era, we had this Pan-African system that made us feel if we put our songs into words that were written down, it could be taken from us. So the song
Mm.
you sang, you held it so close to your heart that you would rather die I mean, I think we all, if you're Igbo and you remember the stories that they told us about the Igbo slaves who on the ship who took over the ship, and because they knew they could not sail the ship, they rather jump off the ship and die in the sea, which is
These
where the
were the
statue
people
comes
that
from.
died off the coast of
Yeah,
America. Yeah, right.
they rather die off the coast because they didn't know how to sail. They rather just die off the coast than go into slavery. That was it. So we kind of held our tradition so badly that the trauma of our tradition became the form of transferring the tradition. So if you never heard the story, you don't know it.
That's true.
And the problem with that is even like nowadays, I mean, and I think this is why I kind of praise Ghanaians a bit more because, well, Ghanaians kind of adapted faster than us because
They
they put
did.
it in words. I mean, look at the story of Anansi, which is technically the snake god, right?
Okay.
No, spider god. As far as I want to believe, Marvel can come and sue me later. I believe that the person who did Spider-Man actually heard the story of Anansi.
You think?
Yes. The one for
Do
okay, Black Panther. Some people argue that Black Panther was Bast, sorry. But
Bath. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's kind of
it is
very.
Bast that gives them the power, bro. From the way you see Black Panther is portrayed, you can see that well, they just tied it into Bast later on. But from the way Spider-Man is portrayed, especially with the way they tie in Spider-Man, especially the older ones. If you watch Static Shock, you see that Static Shock actually goes to Africa, and then they bring in the initial girl. I keep forgetting what his name. The initial guy. So you can see like Spider-Man actually thought of it. Black Panther, I think, was just an afterthought.
After I thought,
Pass.
let's add an African twist to it.
Plus, I'm sorry to say this, North Africans, you guys, a lot of times you guys claim to be white, so well, your myth and mythology, I
Well,
think when people remember
what
is
is it
because you're
with
white.
whiteness and okay? Because this is one thing I have experienced in my own personal life, at least, right? I've
Mhm.
understood that the difference between being seen as a human being and being seen as a creature was just 3 millimeters of skin. Can you please explain to those that don't know, and I'll back it up, with some medical
Uh,
facts, what
uh,
you know about melanin?
this is, I want to give a good example, but I don't have my friend next to me. There's a guy who usually,
Oh, no,
with the
no.
first time I ever got this question, because he was one that answered it for me. This is a guy who, okay, first of all, my background, I studied engineering and physics as an undergrad in the UK.
Okay.
I actually lived in the UK for over 10 years. I did not give a damn. I wasn't bothered by anything, but there are certain things that happened to me in the UK that stand out. For one, the first time I got into college, I went to Loughborough University. First time I got into college, I remember my orientation day.
Mm-hmm.
Police officer, this was the senior constable of Loughborough.
Okay.
Mind you, as a Nigerian, you guys can already tell I came late
Ooh.
for my orientation. I came late. My father was in my room because this man managed to pay for, like, we were supposed to take a train, but my bag was so heavy that we couldn't take it. So he paid for a taxi for us from London to Loughborough.
Oh wow.
Bless his heart. That money was not small, especially in Naira this day. But bless it, I paid for it. So then I'm not rushing for my rotation. My dad is in my room. And I get into my rotation late, trying to walk to the seat. Luckily, well, I have a British accent and everything, so I don't give a damn. I can sit in the back and sit in the front. If you call me, I don't care. I'll answer you. So I'm walking to my seat. I don't even get to my seat. This officer, senior constable, big white guy, like he's my height, pot belly, and everything.
Okay.
He calls me. I have no fear in me because, well, my accent is British. Then I'm Nigerian. So again, we know Nigerians. Nigerians is carry last, so we can't do
We
any
don't.
goddamn thing. Any bloody thing. Plus, I'm tired. So at that point, my brain is a bit sleepy enough not to
Sluggish.
realize
It's
what's going on.
lagging.
It's lagging. So at this point, I'm running on auto memory. So this man calls me. I've not even landed. He's called me and done everything. And the statement in his story is, the first thing he says is like, yo, I don't care who your dealer is, but stick with your original dealers because dealers in Loughborough are shit, and I should know. So literally, this man has called me out on the first day of orientation to a
Whoa.
full crowd of undergrads to talk about how he does not care who my dealer is. So everyone, and like, thing is, back then I had a big afro, like much bigger than this, big afro. So I was very recognizable. My face wasn't like this. I didn't have a beard, but big afro, pretty much similar glasses because I'm blind. My nose was always this big. Just all this wasn't there. So imagine
Mm.
someone using it as an example for, I don't care who your dealer is, but stick your original dealer. I don't complain about the story because, well, in all fairness, yo, a lot of the good things that happened to me in the first initial periods of the uni happened because of this story. Because, well, hey, they pretty much assumed I was a drug dealer, and well, we know what comes with that.
Mm.
Girls and all the rest. So I had fun. But yeah, literally, this man assumed I had a dealer already. Mind
Mm.
you, I was a physics nerd. Do you know what it means to get into university at, how old was I? I think I was 16, studying engineering and physics with my name on a
Wow.
list. Because my name was on the list in the UK for based on my brain power.
Mm. Brain power tough.
Brain power and other things. Well, when you are a physicist with a degree in quantum physics, you end up on a list. Don't worry, it
Woo.
tends to happen.
Quantum physicist.
Forget.
I know a quantum
I
physicist.
can't even tell you all those things anymore because right now I don't even practice. So
Mm,
leave it.
mm, mm.
Leave it.
If
Don't.
someone took you to a deep mind now, or like deep seek, or they took you to one of those quantum mechanical computers, at least you'll be able to tell what wire is going to where
Eventually. Yeah.
eventually.
Eventually. Eventually.
Are you saying
Well,
eventually in the sense that eventually monkey will type out Shakespeare?
put this way. Put me in that situation where I have to do it. If I have to, what? Okay, I'm thinking of my limitation right now. And I don't want to be sound arrogant and say my limitation is in the sky.
Mm,
Well, more or
okay.
less. Put me in that situation where I just have to do it and give me all the things I need. I believe I can discover a new, yeah, technically I can give us a new height. I can give us a new high temperature superconducting material.
You believe you can do that?
Yeah,
All
like
right. I like the way your brain works, and I would like to prod you in a little thing
mm,
like that because
I don't. It's not
I'm
even
very
an
sure
assumption because
half of you
technically
that are watching us
I
right now.
was like
uh,
technically I was offered a PhD to do that. It's just I moved from America, from the UK to America.
Wow. And if you know, you would have just stuck around and listen to your teacher and listen to your
Not
boss.
really. No. This one is for. I will say the truth about this because of it can probably happen to anyone. I left because of immigration.
Immigration. Tell us more about immigration because there are people that are watching this now
Oh,
that
uh,
are trying to move and change their background, change their vantage point. Tell them more
all right.
about
I'll put
immigration.
it this straightforward. So when I came to the UK, UK really didn't. UK just wanted us there. So I started in the UK. First of all, I got a basketball scholarship. So I played basketball for, instead of like, technically I never finished high school in Nigeria. I came to the UK and did that there, playing basketball, which is why my niece, and this is my young age, niece. I played basketball for a bit, but then, and this is why I love being Nigerian. You have somebody who will sit down and tell you the truth. My guy sat me down, and actually, it wasn't even my guy. Yeah, he's my guy, but he was roughly around my age because he is a student as well. Was my senior
Mhm.
in Lagos. He told me true fact, which was, Devin, where are you going? What offers do you have? I told him the offers, and he was like, "Look, let's look at it in terms of monetary amount. I had the offers to come to the US to play college ball here. So if I come here, play college ball, they
Okay.
decide what I study. Most of the universities that
Mm.
offered me scholarship was Pan African Studies. Me as the bloody Nigerian, I'll come as well Pan African Studies. The guy was like, "Look, let's look at it. The UK schools were like, okay, you come in, you pick what you want to study, but there's no assurance of you going because like the UK didn't really have a league then, but
Mm.
you at least you study.
Okay.
America was you come in, you study Pan African Studies, hope you make college ball from there, MBA. How many people make the MBA?
Very few.
Very few.
Very
But
small statistic.
even based on Nigeria, I wasn't even the best. My biggest advantage is I'm this tall. So the best I could look forward to is being Shaq. My fundamentals are never going to get to the point where, because I started training late, but there's no way my fundamentals get to the point where I can be Kobe. Neither can I be Steph Curry. It's not going to happen. I started way too late for that. The best I can do is my strength and my height.
Okay.
And I said Shaq for a reason. The other guy, who's the other African guy, what's his name?
Mutombo.
Mutombo is what? 7 feet.
Yeah.
7 feet plus. I'm 6 foot 3.9. I've
Mm.
been this height for almost 10 years. So it shows
Wow.
that, look, I reached my peak and it wasn't increasing again. So I'm even lucky. I'm actually lucky I didn't even bother. Because the guy who gave me this advice was my senior by 1 year. He actually played college, he played college ball here in America. And almost pretty much dominated college ball. It was the fifth best draw. I'm not going to call his name because I know he wants to reply. It was the fifth best draw in his year.
Wow.
Fifth best cut. Did he make the NBA? Nope. No, he did not. No, he did not. He knows himself. If he sees this, he will know him. He's know his meal. Because he still sent me a text telling me about how I made the best choice for myself. So I played in the UK, used my scholarship, graduated, studied engineering and physics, did that, worked in the labs. Somehow came to America. Found out that everything doesn't transfer directly here. I mean, this one, the rest of the story, you said you know now.
Yes,
Found out
sir.
it doesn't transfer directly. They're telling us, and like, okay, now this is my advice to everyone. When you get that realization where everything doesn't transfer, you have two options. One, be angry. Me, I was angry because you're telling me that all these 5 years of work did not transfer.
You know, transfer.
So
Your
that
3.8 is now 2.5.
2.5. That anger you're carrying is you that is carrying yourself to the source. So if you want to adapt, Coco, go and listen to them when they do certification course. If you want to be angry and carry strong head, you carry your strong head and eventually you still come back and do the same thing
Until the
again.
same certification course,
Do
indeed.
the same certification course. You want to tell them, look, I carried my strong head initially. I did agree to the certification course. Luckily, apparently I'm quite good at educating the youth so well. I became a teacher.
So for someone that doesn't have any certificates, right? They're like, oh, uncle, please bring me to the abroad, whatever country it might be. What is the step-by-step process that you tell this person? Because the person doesn't know that there are step-by-step processes, right?
First of all, step one is going to be almost impossible for you. That's step one. Because no, I can give you ways that will be possible for you, but you will just come here to do life in bondage. No, I'll give you a good example. See, if you want to come to America to be a professional clothes washer, and this one bust my brain when I saw it. There are some people who I know here who are on H-1B visa to wash clothes. Because I never thought H-1B can be granted for such. But I saw it with my own two eyes. No problem. You come here and be a professional clothes washer. You sort out your life, you wash clothes for it. So your own hope is the destiny changer is your next generation. And first of all, let me tell you as the first son of my generation is you're already giving birth to that child for someone who's going to be hypertensive. Because once you carry the concept of you are changing the story of a whole generation, you can never be normal. I'm sorry. Look, there's a reason why, put it this way, there's just why over 60% of all female millionaires are divorcees. Because they got that millions from the divorce they had. See, creation of new wealth, yes, it does happen. But creation of new wealth from zero, mugbe, you go digo. Some people tell me that I'm joking myself. You say, okay,
But
entertainment.
a few people have been able to create new wealth from zero.
Look, I'll
I'll
give you an
cite.
example. Even in the easiest way to create new as Nigerians, the easiest way to create new wealth right now is entertainment. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's put it this way, and this is why I love Nigeria. Right now, 95% of all the bar graduates in the past 4 years are content creators. No problem. How many of them stretched up? And this is by next year, end of next year, we will see it. Because when Tinubu's tax policy comes in and taxes are public information, you will see how many of them crossed the million profit margin. At this point, at least me and you, we know how many of our friends or our cousins or our next of kin who studied law, who are now content creators.
Yep.
And this is why I like the new. This is one of the features I like about the new tax law. Is if you like, do OnlyFans. Actually, no. It doesn't cover OnlyFans. If you like, do all access. Because OnlyFans is technically registered abroad. So unless they are able to figure out your OnlyFans earnings rates, it may not show. But if you do all access, which is Nigeria's version of OnlyFans, your income is showing. And if you say, okay, my income doesn't show, if you are purchasing anything that shows to a certain extent, oh God, you will join us. Some of us who have been paying taxes from the day we were 16 in Nigeria because we are working. You will join us. I've had a tax ID number in Nigeria since I was 16. From my first job as a store clerk, I had a tax number.
Store clerk, where?
Obunobali, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Because me, I carried my strong head and was like, oh, I want to go and work. I didn't have to, but I did it.
You did what you had to do back then to
No, I didn't have to, but I did it. Because something, first of all, my grandfather once said something, which was, I was about to say my last name, but I was like, no. People with my last name, the men from my side, tend to die when we don't have problem. That's my great grandfather said. And I don't know. I think maybe because I heard this story when I was young, I carried it personally. So because I didn't want to die, I started creating problems for myself.
So that you continue to solve problems, so you extend your life.
And unfortunately, I'm not a science student. So when I created problem, my problem calculation skills are very high. So I used to work, I would go to school. I was a boarding student. I would go to school. Even in my boarding house, what did I used to do then? I used to sell pirated games. So I had a friend who was schooling abroad. He would buy all the empty CD-ROMs for me, which was the only reason why I understood the difference between CDR and DVD-R. So there was CD, there was DVD. But then for me, I bring it to Nigeria, I would burn the games. And those days, we all know the game because like when PlayStation really hits, PlayStation was for the game centers now, we know now.
Yeah.
But a lot of us go and play on the PC. So I used to download games that we like. And then there was a game I've been a football manager fan since 2006. So I know I said that year and people are thinking I'm old. Yes, I'm old. I'm in my 30s. Please don't be thinking I'm a young boy. Forget all this one you're seeing here. I'm in my 30s. Forget it.
If we hear, we did hear.
So I used to download like games and sell, and especially like games we didn't see in Nigeria. So that time, I'll bring games like Football Manager. I'll bring Tycoon Football Manager, Fish Tycoon, Roller Coaster Manager. I used to bring more or less all the Tycoon games. Yeah, I used to bring all the Tycoon games, which were like strategy games. I don't know. I think Eddie, you know. In fact, what I say, Eddie, you see me play them, so you see me. Remember, I think you saw me that time where imagine me and this human being. Yeah, we are at somebody's housewarming party. Housewarming party, with fine girls, very fine, beautiful ladies. I will confess this one, but don't worry, Eddie wasn't talking to the ladies. It was me.
If I hear,
it was me. But at the same time, when they say it was me, I wasn't fully talking because I was engaged in playing what game was I playing? I think I was playing Airline Tycoon.
Airline Tycoon. I'm like, what is this guy
doing? This one was just there looking, what's this guy doing? I was like, I'm playing game, I'm playing game. The girls are looking at me. I'm here solving balance sheets while they're looking very intelligent and smart and not knowing it's game we're playing.
Yeah, it's playing game, not realizing.
But at the same time, the games do help. Like I remember even as an undergrad, this was undergrad. As an undergrad, before I finished my engineering physics degree, our last course was business management for physics students. And you see this course, this course was introduced by force to all of us. The year I graduated, they made every everyone in my department take it, because we once had a graduate in my department who designed a novel system. The system was supposed to damper, damper the sound of trains. So he designed a cheap system of reducing the sound of a train when he approaches.
Oh
But
wow.
you see, this young boy, when you are too intelligent, you become stupid.
In a way, yes, because there's nothing to fuel your
There's nothing to
intelligence.
feel you again. You are just doing the design for design. See, this boy, like his level of stupidity is high level. Because technically, he sold the concept of what he was designing to a private party to the point at which, for him to even graduate, because he took the project up as a PhD as well, for him to
Okay.
graduate on the project, he had to pay the same company that he sold the idea to. And I say sold liberally because he never actually sold the idea to them. He gave the idea to them, but legally he sold it.
I see.
And it's such a novel idea because it sounds so simple. He just designed two corrugated pipes in such a way that the natural frequency of the pipes are so opposite. So natural frequency is the natural. So
Like a tuning
Eddie,
fork.
Eddie, you can sing, right?
Yes, like you're thinking of like a tuning fork, the
Yeah.
resonant
What
frequencies.
note can you do?
Probably like a G or F.
Do the highest G you can do. Just do it randomly. So that kind of thing. So he does his highest note. I do my lowest note.
Okay.
The point where those notes hit zero, like the resonance frequency, that's the point at which the notes can transfer between two sections. Which, because when you plot
There's a
sound,
there's an upward node and a
upward node
bottom
down
node,
you
a positive and a negative node, right?
node.
So
Yes,
those
that's it.
by the time that those peaks flatten out and they reach what I call it a threshold or like a meeting point on the x-axis, usually the y is 0, the x is whatever it is.
Yeah,
Uh, I
whatever
never
it is,
get
because at
it.
that point we just assume frequency is time equals to t.
Yep.
Technically time is equals to at, which is any point in frequency at which multiplied by t. So that's not our business. Well,
Physics.
technically, so long as you have a resonance frequency that you can hit the exact opposite of the frequency,
You can cancel it out.
you can damper the sound.
So is that how noise cancellating earphones work?
Yes and no. Noise cancellation. Hold on. First of all, let me buzz. See, you know what I like where I live. How do you switch this? Wait, how do you switch this camera?
It's
So
top right.
one of the things in my house is that this is my TV, and this is my
TV stand with
my
the
TV stand.
fireplace. Okay.
My TV stand, fireplace deal. But the most important thing to me is this drawer here, because this is where I keep paper.
All right. Why do you put paper right next to the fire stand?
Brother,
You're a fire
you
safety
never, you
hazard.
never, you never wake up calculate something at the wrongest of time. That's why you're asking that question. That's paper. The only problem now is I have been so negligent in this house so far that
Nice teddy bear.
all the pens I keep in my two drawers
Are gone to other
are
drawers.
gone. Like, it's so bad that I've used all my pens. So now I
I
just have
always carry a
markers.
pen in my pocket just because of that. Because I don't know where I put any pens
No, I've
anymore.
used, like, no, the amount of money I spend on pens at this point, I don't even know how to react. I spend way too much. Plus, I kind of have like, uh, anyone said arthritis, so even my pens are expensive. No, I only write with 0.35 millimeter sharpened pens.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's
Plus,
up.
for anyone who's on this live, to give
Yeah,
you a reason
people are
to
watching
give
us
you a
here and they
reason
watch
to
us
blame
look
your
at.
parents. If your parents make you do too much mathematics, especially you people that use H1B pencil in Nigeria, sorry, you'll be like me when you grow up. No, 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 no. You know those H1B pencils are like the worst pencils in the world.
Why do you say so?
Do you know how flat those pencils are? Have you ever? What do you mean? My brother, you're my age, oh. Do you remember how we used to press those pens, especially we that grew up in the time of
No sharpener.
manual? Hey, we that grew up in the time of manual sharpener.
You can use razor blade to sharpen it that will slice into your skin.
Which was the problem? Look, all right, so this is a 0.35 millimeter pencil.
Okay.
Meaning when I write.
So the pen is mightier than the sword.
Uh-huh. If you wrote to H1B, you most likely were pressing.
Yes.
So by the time
So
you
you are
press that
putting
pencil,
energy into your writing.
by the time you press that pencil, wake up when you get to 32, 33, 34, 35. Come and tell me how your joints and your fingers
Your
feel.
joints, you have early onset arthritis.
If anyone say arthritis, I'm sorry. That's
Mm.
why, like, look, as much as pilot pens are expensive, I understand it. All right, so where were we? We're talking about what? What's the calculation again? Yeah. What's the calculation? Sorry, my head goes to many places.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Remind me, where were we at before I lost my train of thought?
We're talking about frequencies and nodes. You were about to explain to me noise cancellating earpiece.
Okay, so noise cancellation. So let's say, I think the ears are what? Sorry if I'm wrong, please. I don't remember. It's been a minute. The ears are 35 decibels.
Okay, we can accept that.
Noise cancellation is you need something that, because 35 decibels will not just be 1 point, because again, sound goes in a wave. So I'm going to use the most basic of wave, which would be the sinusoidal wave, which technically that's not always sound because, well,
It
sound
could
has
just
bass
be
and
a
everything.
beep, it could be a boop, it could be anything.
More or
It could be a
less.
whoop.
If I remember, the sound wave is minus h bar over something, where wherever it is, you have a, which is a is the amplitude. Then you have something t, which is just the frequency, which is annoying because that frequency is technically wrong, because that frequency literally just means 1 over of the period,
Yeah.
which is 1 over t. Well, that's a stupid thing. So let's just use a sine wave. If this here is our 35, to cancel out this sound, we already know that sound cannot exist on its own. It's kind of like
It
how
needs to
we
pass
have
through
power.
a medium.
Mhm. If you're passing through a medium, it means you already have the exact opposite at that period working.
Okay.
Which is why you notice a lot of people will tell you sine, cosine, where the sine becomes it's the A sine theta, and cosine becomes B sine theta,
Okay.
more or less. So what this guy designed was he found a way of using regular corrugated. Technically, with the first time he designed it, and this is the funniest part, he used corrugated
Steel, like aluminium or
no
like
aluminum. What's that material that technically we always argue that it causes cancer?
asbestos.
Asbestos. Yeah, he used corrugated asbestos. So what he did, how he equated, because at this point, theta and theta will always be the same. So the main things that change is this A and B, because A and B are both integers. The only thing, but then to find where they relate, you have to now equate it to a continuous function. And the best way to say a continuous function, you just you need to find an equation that applies in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then applies in such a way that it affects both, even the one's positive and one's negative. So what he designed was like, this was the first design. He used asbestos and was like, okay, if we have a device that is arranged like this, so the ridges, he equated A, B, and C. C comes from just the environment.
Okay.
In a ridge like this, see that
So
ridge?
they are producing naturally by their shape, their deflection is creating
Thank you.
a positive inflection from their negative structure.
Yep. And one more thing. The one more thing is, I keep forgetting how this word is. Yeah, Doppler effect.
Okay.
So the Doppler effect is one of the first things you learn in physics. It tells you that
When
sound
something
over
when the sound
time.
is going to
Yeah,
you,
sound
it
over how
speeds
sound
up.
propagates over time when you're moving away from the object. So what he designed was, you see that object. So when you're at the closest point, so the train is flowing. Train is flowing,
Yeah.
and then you have these barriers here.
Okay.
Where one is like this, the other is like this. So A and B pretty much equate to the distance between the ridges.
Okay.
Then the Doppler effect tells you as far as where the ridges have to go.
All right.
So what is it? When the train is closest to you, where the Doppler effect tells that the train node should be the largest. At that
Okay.
point, the differentiation between A and B in terms of the ridges is the largest, so it dulls down the sound. Then as
Okay.
the train moves further away from you, the ridges are becoming maybe further away, and then the sound dopples down again more. That's the design. Oh.
That's a beautiful design.
It
Using
worked. It
it's like
worked.
natural wave
It was
forming.
natural. See, put it this way. Let me bust you. Do you know? Me and my father had an argument recently, which was, and this argument is, I think, anyway, I think we had this argument. My dad told me that the original concept of designing a house in Africa, where we're using brick, cannot work again anymore now. Not because we cannot use brick, but because there's no longer any talented brick mason in Nigeria. My father told me that thing. And do you know? I was like, I cursed the man out. I was like, what do you mean? Brick that is natural. You say there's no brick mason in Nigeria? Until when I went, really, really, there are no brick masons in Nigeria anymore.
Hmm.
So the reason why right now we're building with cement and the rest is because those are the easier ones now, because those are what we know.
I
Because
see.
brick, when you say brick, all of you assume clay, right?
Yep.
When I say brick in my head, I'm talking of mud. Clay is mud.
Clay is just hard mud now.
It's just adding mud. So yeah, I said brick. All of you said clay. I was like, no, it's mud. Remember, mud. The equation for mud is, well, I can't remember the equation, but I just know it's the most basic
Part
equation.
earth, part straw, part water.
Yeah, I'm talking of the equation of dissipation, because mud is one of the few compounds that in heat mud retains coolness. In cold, mud retains heat.
Yeah,
That's your put
it's
it.
a
Yeah, you
dye
know it. I
thermal.
know to this boy you go school. Remember when we were young and they taught us I say we're young, but technically we're old when it's because Nigerian school they don't teach us reinforcement because we
Yes.
don't build with hollow walls.
Yes, we build
So look
with
at this.
reinforced
We
wall.
we reinforce. So the concept of filler and oh god damn, what's that word?
Insulation.
Insulation is when we came here. So that's why I see this. We learned this
That
here.
yes.
We
Hollow
learned this
wall.
here, even that test. Because I'll never forget the day when I'm assuming, okay, no, you came here younger than me. Did you ever have that time where they would start telling you 2x4, 2x4? You're now trying to calculate it, like what the fuck is 2x4?
Oh yes, that they are saying what is 2 by 4 and you
What's
start
2x4?
knocking and you say you should not be good.
What's 2x4? What's 2x4? Me, I know this one. I know the knock test. I know the
Okay.
knock test, but like 2x4 and the rest, I didn't know that. So we came here, we learned that. And then you now realize that Africans already had a you build a mud house, mud tash. Actually, no. Let me correct myself.
A thatch house.
It's not mud. Technically, it's dung. Yeah, it's dung.
No, it's not dung because
It's cow
dung
dung now.
contains
The best way.
organic matter.
Because organic matter it becomes cow dung.
I don't think so.
The best one they told us was organic matter. So it's cow dung. It's shit. It's not mud. It's shit. It's cow shit. Yeah, it's cow shit. It's cow shit. Because the organic matter in it allows it to make sure that it will push out heat in hot conditions and it will retain cool air in cool conditions. I can do the math now, but it will annoy me. So I know it had to be organic matter because only organic matter can do both. Then it had to be something natural. And then for Africans, it was always cow. Yes, cow dung. It's cow dung. The problem then became right now in Nigeria, there are less than 100 people who actually still know how to bake bricks, more or less bake bricks using organic matter. At this point, all of us, even like if I can pick up maybe 10 random Nigerians who know how to mold cement. I mean, I mold cement here already, but that's a molding brick. So I think that was where that's where we at. So we gained global prominence, but forgot best practice locally. It's unique. I mean, I know one thing. I know I can do till today. I can still design a transformer and do all that.
No?
Yeah, I can design a transformer. I can design a battery and do all that. But like, I would not. Of course, I will not be the best in designing a transformer. I will not be the best in designing a battery. But if
I can still design a circuit board to
yeah, you
wire
can
a
still do. But
solar house.
if we focused on what we have been good at beforehand, I think we would have been the best in that.
Hmm.
I mean,
What was I
Uganda,
good at before?
Tanzania still build. They still build. They still build biomass brick houses. In fact, my first. Let me bust your brain. Do you know my first year I almost paid $4,000 to go to California to go and learn how to build an earthware house. It's more or less like
What?
yeah. There's a guy who does that thing in Cali. Does it? He does it in the desert where they do Burning Man now. He builds
Wow.
earthware houses. I wanted to go and learn from him. It's just I could not raise the money. I told my family people, they were like, something what I do in my village, you want me to give you money to go and learn it. Honestly, I wanted
Something
to
we
learn it.
start.
I really wanted to learn it.
I hear you. This
No,
is
because
awesome. I love this kind of conversation. We should do more like this in a late
yeah,
night conversation.
see,
Talk about dive into
let me tell
topics
you,
like
I will
this.
say anytime when if I ever choose to go to Nigeria to do construction, I do not want to do tile. I do not want to do interlocking tiles. I don't look. I want to do what our ancestors did because it solved the problem there and then. But then I want to be able to still have the intrinsic artistic skill that ancestors have, which I know I do not have. Because I
So
have seen the bricks they did. The artisanry behind those bricks are god damn. That's even before the
yeah,
science of the brick. Put it this way, the limestone, which is the initial natural component of cement that the Romans did back in the day. Do you know we can't even replicate it to today? Roman cement is still stronger than the best cement we can do. Like the guy reason why, as much as I don't like his quoting the Bible, the guy reason why the Tower of Babel they had confidence that that thing will reach heaven. Besides us, where we the talk say Burj Khalifa, we know the height. They've already told the maximum height limit of Burj Khalifa. The Tower of Babel, before they got to the height, they already knew that it will survive going higher than that.
that's true. But
No, no.
what destroyed the Tower of Babel wasn't structural
It wasn't
defects.
structural. It wasn't structural deficiency. It was
It was
come on now.
communication and
God
logistics.
Himself had to come down to destroy it. You know what I mean? I said God Coco fought the battle himself.
What if they were building a space elevator?
The only reason why I don't call it a space elevator is because I felt it would have been stairs. It would have been a space stairwell. That's why I've always seen it.
Yeah, but whatever it was, right? Whatever we want to call it, they were building something that took them up to altitude. So is
It
it
would have
possible
no.
they got
It would have
altitude
gotten there. It would
sickness?
have gotten there. The only thing is where, unless the
No,
only argument now
listen. Yeah,
becomes
no, what I'm saying like, I'm trying to address what happened. Why? Like, let's try to explain it with modern day science. Like, okay,
Mhm.
what could have happened to the massive amount of people who spoke a language and understood, and all of a sudden couldn't understand each other anymore?
First of all, you need to understand that communication is especially in I think it's even worse for us in modern age. Communication or same communication is something that we've never had. Even there's a statement I make to every student I've ever taught, which is kind of like me trying to bribe them to always stay in math, even though I'm a physicist. Which is
Hmm.
math is the only language in the whole world that is true. Put it this way:
Mm.
1 times 1 is always 1. Forget all the nonsense that this man, what's his name, Ogbeni, my brother, who was Bucky number 1. What's that person that went to do Iron Man the first one? Where he wrote a paper that said what's that nonsense paper he wrote again? Is it not one? What does it say? 2 plus 2 is equals to 5, or is it 1 plus 1 is equals to 3? What's in that?
It's where, listen, Sadubem, I know we have to continue this another day, like honestly, because I'm about to head back in now, and I really appreciate you for joining me on this very interesting episode on the Fly on the World podcast with your host Eddy4ShoT's and my beautiful, wonderful, handsome
I'm not beautiful,
co-host.
please. I'm just a humble farmer. Please don't use beautiful. I don't want people to think that. I don't want people to say I bribed you to lie for me. I beg, leave me.
Private guy, you got
See, let
dressed
me.
in village.
First of all, I know people are hearing me and I'm sounding intelligent, but do you know I'm the same Dubim that Eddie knows. I sat down one day and turned the breakup text my ex-girlfriend sent to me into a song. Where it may be a hit song. I'm still working on it. I'm doing the remix
We're
of it.
still waiting. We're making
Ah.
remixes on it.
Hmm.
It is well. Let
Look.
me let me shout out to you one more time. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I really
Yes.
appreciate it.
I
Let's
appreciate
do a
you.
shout
I
out. Where
appreciate
can
you
people
putting me
reach
on.
you?
Hmm.
Where can people reach you?
Yo, you can reach me on Instagram. My name is Uncivil, UNCIVIL. There's a story behind why I still have that username. That username is over 20 years old. I never came up with that name myself. Microsoft came up with that name for me. And in all fairness, if I had sued back then, I would not be on Instagram right now because I'll be way too rich for you people to be talking to me. But I love the name so much that I never sued Microsoft for it. Because
Well, we're
technically,
glad.
that name is shorthand for what Microsoft called me, which is still my gamer tag on Xbox today, which is Uncivil Monkey 10. So tell me how back back then in those days when you apply for an Xbox username, you put your full details, which is your name, your date of birth, your country of origin, your ethnicity, black. And I put all that, and what they came up with was Uncivil Monkey number 10. I'm not even the first Uncivil Monkey, I'm the 10th one. But I
Yeah, the
love
10th
that
one.
username so much that I never sued. Because I like the
It
name.
is well. It is well. It is well. You did well.
But
Well, thank you so
Microsoft,
much for
I'm putting in
joining
your
me.
head, though. If I want to sue you,
I
people should
really
have it in mind.
appreciate you. You are awesome. I know I'm running away now, but tomorrow I'll be back. Let's make this again happen tomorrow. What do you say?
No, I'll do it. Me, Baba, I go so arrest you for many. See this your friend. I've told him before. I need to look. He has a task. Every week I send him a beat where he's supposed to rap on it. And what he's done one. Actually, I think he did 2.
I've
Or he
done
did
a
for 3.
few. I've sent you. Have you not seen them? Go back and check. I did at
The
least.
the third no the third one I'm like I won't tell
Don't
you.
worry. I'll do some more. I
See,
promise.
my album is coming out soon. No, I need to release this album. Let me use it to this December. Let me use it to Chop Woman. Sorry,
Looking
I'm a
forward to
rejected
it,
person.
my G. All right, now let me end the live here. It's been an amazing time as always. Thank you so much for joining me. For those that joined us live, I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys were awesome. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. This is Prince Dr. Chukwemeka Edward Attah-Edeh Anyawuna Waro Hankembo Fapuku. And you're frozen. Oh no, he's frozen. All right, good night, everybody that joined us. I appreciate you. Have a great day now, okay? Bye. So I think we have like 1 minute of, let's make it an even hour. Yes, let's see. We got everything. Let's turn off the lights. That was an amazing live. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, we got like 30 more seconds of blooper reels. Oops. Let's cancel the